Well, I think it needs to happen to a lot of listeners. It needs to happen to me. And I think everybody needs to have those conversations more often. I honestly think too many people walk around with their head down going, I'm just trying to fit in. I'm trying to, not get kicked out. Like, you know what I mean? They're just trying to like play suit like you were showing up prior to that conversation.
That's right.
And somebody, the sergeant, whoever your sergeant is, should have that conversation with you.
And I am so fortunate that a man stepped into my life and just took control and said, grow up. And I had to grow up. And this guy is known for raising hundreds of guys like me. He was the commandant of the school, and he was known as the shaper of men.
That's an awesome name. Ooh, go put that in your obituary.
So,
Jeez,
so when I get out, I'm trying to grow people, and I read a Maxwell book. And I go, where did he get this? And back then it was, I forgot, Your Day or something, but he had just written Develop the Leader Within You. And he was in San Diego. So I just hopped on a plane and flew to San Diego. And I said, I'd like to have lunch with John Maxwell, pay him $100 to eat lunch with me. Because that's what he had done. He wrote the book previously. And so I said, maybe this will get his attention. I'll pay you $100. Tell his secretary, this guy was flying in from Reno, 27, 28 years old, 29 years old. And John took me up on it. Said, who is this kid? So he said, I want to eat here and pick me up, blah, blah. We spent, 2.5 hours. Of course, he didn't take the $100. And he said, why don't you just fly down every month and be with me?
Wow.
And I said, I will do it. And I started spending time and I said, teach me everything you have. Because I'm trying to work in a city with guys that don't have a lot of character. And I have a tough time getting them to produce and stay stable. And he said, sure. And then the awkward part was, he said, I want you to leave where you're working to come work for me. And I said, I can't. I've made a commitment to all these people that I'm going to stay. I just can't bail on everything I told them to come run with you. And he said, well, think about it. I never went to work for him. And he said, but you can travel with me. So we started traveling around the country, and I'd handle his book table, or I'd do this or do that, this and that. Anyway, those 10 years of finding a mentor and saying, I want what you have. Going down unasked, you gotta have some gumption. I want this. You got something that I want, and I'm gonna get it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that worked out, and I had another mentor that I went after. And those guys always said, you should have someone under you that you're mentoring, and you should always have somebody older than you that are mentoring, so you can stay in that lane, and it's not weakness to ask for help.
Love that.
So that when I got to my kids, my dad didn't teach me a lot about money, and so I found a guy that was really prosperous in money, and I said, would you mentor me? Can we have lunch once a month and you just mentor me? And tell me about money. Tell me about stocks and bonds and all kinds of, accounts and this and that. Sure. And then I went to another guy and said, you have really good kids. Would you mentor me on how to have a good family? He said, sure. He was vice president of the university. And he said, let's talk. So every month he'd give me a book. He'd give me a homework assignment. I'd do it. This is what his son was a doctor, a lawyer, and an attorney. Doctor, attorney, and a dentist. Great family. And I said to my wife, we're gonna have great kids. I don't know how to do it. But I'm gonna
You're gonna find a mentor that's gonna help us. That's awesome.
So we find that the guys that can't ask for help, who can't show humility, who are not teachable, who are always acting like they're hot, they need to grow up. And it may be their day and it may not be their day.